Hey Addicts, we're back for another addiction prescription, which technically, we came back strong because we have 2 coming in the works. But anyway, guys, we're here to talk about a series that's probably the weirdest we'll ever talk about, or at least the weirdest we've talked about so far.
The concept is weird.
Yeah, again, if you've read the title, it's a manga called Plus Size Elf, which, to give you basically the premise of it, it's a very simple premise. It's basically, it's our world, in Japan, obviously, and it sells around this one guy, which I'm going to be honest, I don't remember the name off the bat.
Dr. Sama.
Yes, sure. Doc Sama. And he is like a nutritionist, he helps people lose weight, get on a diet plan, and he has a run-in with a patient that is from another world. And that's basically the premise, is him running into more and more people that are these magical creatures from the other world that have come into this world, tasted our delicious food, gotten too fat, and then seek medical attention. you know? So it is a comedy. There is some light action at times. It's still more of a comedy.
Spare the pigs.
Yeah, spare the pigs. It's also an informational dietary help plan.
Yeah, so it is...
it's in the same veins as Cells at Work.
Yeah, it's like a Cells at Work meets Interview with Monster Girls meets just overweight people trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
All right, so Biggest Loser. All right,
yeah,
so
exactly.
Biggest Loser.
It's magical Biggest Loser, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So all the characters have like their own quirks. Mm-hmm. So in the case of the elf, which is the first character that we see and mainly focus on in the first volume, which we'll talk about too for this video, but she's addicted to potatoes, specifically French fries. And then you have Dark Elf, who her problem is that she wants to spawn her minion things, but when she's fat, she can only spawn one. And she works at a convenience store.
She's got back trouble too.
She does
stand all day.
Yeah. And then so they're against each other. Then there's in the second book there's a ton more. There's a satirist, I guess.
Yeah.
There's an orc. There's a
plant
person,
like a lycanthrope or whatever.
There is a lycanthrope. Yeah, and then there's a fish person, and then there's ogre as well.
Okay. And you also get one that is kind of like an antagonist, which I don't know if I'll say here, but it actually does have a funny thing to play.
You get a cobalt as well.
Yeah, which so the series is it's very diverse. I do like how each of the characters have their own. They're not necessarily backstory, but in a way, it's still their own character development. Because it's they have a problem that's specifically to them that none of them really share. I mean, they do share being overweight, but the essence of their problem is different. So the elf. It's basically a compulsive obsession. That's mainly her problem. It's not necessarily the fries.
Yeah.
But, for somebody else, it might be actually whatever. I'm not going to, spoil it here. Yeah. But it's really funny. I think I enjoy it the same way as I do with Cells at Work. It's one of those that you can laugh at and also get a little bit of educational thing from it, it's not going to be a big thing, but it's still a fun little thing. I think for people that maybe have struggled with weight before, or maybe overweight themselves, I think this is a really near and dear thing that could be to them. I know, especially me personally, since I've had weight things before and I've focused on losing weight, that's one that I had a lot of fun reading this. So I don't know. That's not to say it's specifically for those people, because I think it can reach a wider audience than that. I just think that those people especially might find this funny.
Yeah, I think it's it's weird, but it's pretty funny. Yeah. I think it's a show that you don't take seriously. You read at your leisure, and it's really not that long. With the first 2 volumes, you can read it in not a long period of time, and it's just a journey. It's not so much about the main plot. It's just about the characters and them interacting, and
right
now he's basically being surrounded by all of them, guarding him against an enemy.
Special forces.
Special forces of darkness.
Yeah.
So
there's also in the first book you do get several interactions, and in the second book you're kind of wondering if this is going to be like a show that you mentioned before, like Monster, where it's like, is there going to be just these people and it's going to focus on different things, or are we going to open it up a little bit, or like what's exactly going on? And I do like the approach it takes in the second book with like the villain aspect. I do think that's going to open up more doors to where it's not going to be too repetitive. But so far, like just from these first 2 volumes, I do find it pretty enjoyable. It is kind of like, it's got some mature elements in it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a like read in public and to your kids kind of book.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
It's mainly just nudity and
which is weird because it's not like, it's not nudity for the sake of nudity.
It's not fan service.
Yeah, it's not fan servicey, because there is even like, some blocks of it sometimes where like they don't show you full frontal or whatever. Sometimes it is though. I'm just gonna put that out there. But it feels like a little bit more. I don't want to say like, it's for the plot, but in some situations, I guess you could say it kind of is. But yeah, there's definitely those themes there. So if that's something that doesn't bother you, then you should give it a try at least.
Just be aware that that's a part of it.
That's a part of it. And
don't turn the next page and probably like, whoa,
yeah.
I wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, no, I think we pretty much said what there is to say about the series. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a shallow series, but there's not, multiple elements besides what we've talked about.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a Psyche, it's like a Love is War, it's like a Cells at Work. It's like, you're going to enjoy it, but it's not like one, I don't feel like you necessarily have to read out of, or in order, to necessarily get it, You can pick up, like, the most current volume, see if you like it, and then go back and read, and you're not going to hurt yourself, But with that being said, guys, I guess I will give a little bit of a rating just because it finished, I think, current to English translation.
Yeah, the third one's coming out soon. But
the first, again, I would say first volume, kind of like a worth it. I think the second volume, it's really hard for me because I do like the change up in there. I still think it's a worth it. I'll still give it a worth it just because it doesn't quite, I think, reach the level to give it a gotta have it. But I think it's definitely a series that, if it's in your vein of like comedy, if it, if the theme sounds, something that you can relate to or that you'd like seeing, it's definitely think that you would appreciate it.
Yeah. For me, I'm a little bit different. I like the series, but it is kind of, I don't know. It's not necessarily in my wheelhouse, but I would say for the first one, it's probably like I like it. Yeah. We haven't used in a while.
Yeah.
But thumbs up, boys. And then for the second one, I think it's a worth it. Mm-hmm. So if anything we said was interesting or you're kind of on the fence about reading this, I suggest just buying the first volume and reading it. And, it's not a large financial commitment just for 2 volumes, so...
Right, and it's available pretty much everywhere from what I know, so you don't have to worry about that. We got some more manga and light novel stuff coming up that, yes, it takes us a while because we have to read all of it. I'm the slow one here, but it is how it is.
Yeah, and
we work at different speeds. So
Danmachi 14 is coming out soon.
Yeah, so we'll be back for obviously the series that we've been covering for the long haul. So be sure to let us know if you guys have read the series, what you think of it, or if you're thinking about trying it out. And it's not really a series we need to cover like book for book, but we'll maybe do like a little update thing, when we get another one or so. But anyway, guys, we'll see you guys for the next stuff, and catch you later.
Peace.